Hey everyone, this is Pooka and welcome to another game I played on the Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. This time I'll be using a Sableye Darkrai Zoroark deck against a player named Biddoof. Yes. And he is playing just a straight Hammer Time deck with Darkrai and Sableye crushing hammers. That's about it, I think. We've seen some versions of that deck start to run Terrakion as well. And we'll see if he decides to use that. It would change things a lot. Alright, so I'm going to start off by just kind of playing my hand down a lot. I got a Dark Energy in the discard pile, so I could use Dark Patch if need be. And I do get to go first, which is a big advantage. And, I mean, this hand isn't the greatest, but it'll work for what I need. And I'm just going to go ahead and Junk Hunt. I get the beautiful triple Ultra Ball hand. But you know, I do have a supporter, so I'm definitely not going to complain about this start. Now, my opponent plays a Crushing Hammer right off the start, so you can see that this indeed is some sort of Hammer Time deck. You do have to worry about Crushing Hammer and Enhanced Hammer. Whenever you see a Crushing Hammer, you know the Enhanced Hammer is pretty sure to follow. My opponent is playing Energy Search, which is a nice card with Sableye. It allows you to search for an energy, and then you can just kind of Junk Hunt for the energy search, and boom, you can get another energy next turn if you didn't have one in your hand. So he's going to get back a Crushing Hammer and that energy search. And yeah, I mean, he didn't get any energy in the discard pile, which is unfortunate for him, but you know, could be worse. And you know, here I get, let's see, I get a double colorless. I'm going to attach it to my Zoroark. I also get a Dark Patch, which I certainly will play. This is a weird situation because I had the double colorless. I didn't really know where to attach it. I put it on my Zoroark even though it's vulnerable to a Crushing Hammer or Enhanced Hammer. But I'm going to have to play my hand out regardless. So I figured might as well try to get lucky and get, I do play Energy Switch in this deck. So maybe if I can get Energy Switch up to the Sableye and get a quick Brutal Bash in there, then I could really put pressure on my opponent early, but it did not work like that at all. And maybe I would have been better off just attaching the double colorless to the Sableye. Seems like a waste. Or maybe even just playing Juniper and discarding it all together. Now, my opponent gets Crushing Hammer heads, and I know he is going for my double colorless, so there's a trick to that. Unfortunately, when you choose with Crushing Hammer and there's a tool attached, the tool kind of blocks the area where you would click to discard the energy, so you have to right-click and then kind of arrow over to the energy, and then you can click on it and discard it. So, just thought I would fill my opponent in there. It's a very annoying glitch. Hopefully that gets fixed soon, but I didn't want him to quit or anything over that. And this game will continue. Now, that Crushing Hammer is pretty devastating, and you can see that's 3 Crushing Hammer heads now. So, all my energy is gone. This is the strength of the Hammer Time deck. I mean, you can just slow your opponent down so much against decks that, like, manually attach and don't have any acceleration. You can win just by using Crushing Hammer over and over, and then Junk Hunting for your Crushing Hammers until they run out of energy, and then you just attack and win because they don't have energy to attack anymore. So the Crushing Hammer strategy is very powerful, and it's being a big pain in the butt here, that's for sure. But what should I do here? I can Ultra Ball, probably discard a random receiver and a catcher. There are no Dark Energy in my opponent's discard pile yet, so there's no fear of Dark Patch or anything like that. I don't know how strong his hand is. It didn't seem that good. So I'm just going to get another Zoroark into play. I could Bianca for 3. I probably should, just to try to get another Dark Patch. I can Tool Scrapper, discard his Eviolite. I don't know how helpful that actually is in this matchup, but might as well just do it and get rid of it. And so I will be able to Junk Hunt for a Dark Patch. And, you know, there's really not anything else I want to take. Maybe a catcher, or maybe even Tool Scrapper. I mean, it doesn't really matter. The catcher's not going to be that important in this matchup, I don't think. I might need one or two here and there to catch your Darkrai's if they retreat. But other than that, I really don't see Catcher being that big in this matchup. The period of time where I would slow him down with anything has pretty much passed. And yeah, I mean, Darkrai's coming up. Most of the time I just want to hit the active Pokemon. So I do have a Catcher in my hand still, but for the most part it's not going to be a big deal. Now he does go ahead and Night Spear knocks out my Sableye. Now this is kind of annoying. He puts 30 on the Zoroark. This is a weird matchup because in one sense you can't knock out Zoroark in one hit. It only does 90 damage with Night Spear. And if you hit a Zoroark for 90, that is bad news, because then you can just Dark Rush for a ton of damage and knock out a Darkrai in one hit. So they never really want to Night Spear the active. They want to put 30 on the Zoroark first with the Night Spear and then hit it for 90. So if he has another catcher here, he can catcher up that other Zoroark and knock that out and put 30 on this one. And basically it's just a battle of having the catchers at the right time, putting the 30 damage on the things, and ooh, that max potion is really ugly for me. It just eliminated my attack basically, and now I don't know where to go from here. I probably should have just attached to the benched Zorua with my Dark Patch, because I don't want to put that 30 damage Zoroark out into the open if I don't have to. It just doesn't seem like a very good idea, because it's just going to get Night Speared. It makes it so my opponent doesn't need to have a catcher to get a knockout. And if he has an Enhanced Hammer or a Crushing Hammer, he can discard the 2 energy off my active. But it looks like that's not going to happen. So he's just going to Dark Patch, and we'll go from there. Now I have a weird decision to make. If I attack the active, I just knock it out, take it out of play. But if I catch out the Darkrai, he could just get another max potion and heal it. So actually my best option here for sure is just to knock out the active. That's what I'm getting at. Sorry, kind of a roundabout way of explaining things. I want to knock out the Sableye, even though I don't get 2 prizes for it like I would usually want to. I mean, I'm still gonna have to knock out 3 Darkrai's, but taking a Sableye out of play prevented him from using Dark Patch to the Darkrai that already had energy. So now he needs 2 Dark Patches, or a Dark Patch and energy and an energy switch. So it basically just makes it more difficult for him to actually attack this turn, and that's good for me. However, that Enhanced Hammer definitely makes it more difficult for me to attack. So it might slow me down quite a bit here, and I actually don't know what's next. I spread out my energy on the Zoroarks. Let's see, I have 1 on each, so that might have been a mistake last turn. I could have Dark Patched onto the other Zoroark with the 30 damage end already, just so I could get an attack off this turn. But it looks like I'm just going to have to use Foul Play this turn to search for a card. I could have used N, but he showed me that he didn't play any supporters or energy, so he's got a really bad hand. And I'm just going to take advantage of this by using Foul Play. I don't have to end him into a new hand, and that's great for me. I just grab a Dark Patch. I don't know if that was the right card to grab. That was a tough decision with, sorry, it's called Nasty Plot. I get to search for any card in my deck for 1 Dark Energy. I didn't know if that was the right move. If I grab an energy, that might have just been better, but I figured I might as well try to give myself an extra attachment. And then if I get a turn to use Sableye, I could just Junk Hunt for 2 Dark Patches, and that's going to help me out quite a bit with powering up attackers later. Now here, my opponent, he did top deck an N, got a Catcher, Tool Scrappered away my Dark Claws, and overall just an ugly turn for me. But at this point, I really didn't mind the Tool Scrapper. I didn't really see how that would impact things. I'm going to 2-hit knock out these Darkrai's pretty much regardless. And yeah, so that's not really that big of a deal. So I'm going to Brutal Bash, hit this Darkrai for 120, and then I'm feeling pretty good about my situation. My opponent doesn't even have a Darkrai powered up at this point. He could this turn, but if he were to use Night Spear this turn, it would hit me for 90, which obviously ends up in him being knocked out by Dark Rush. But there is a Terrakion. Now that's going to cause some problems. Darkrai, Sableye, those are things that Zoroark can handle. Terrakion, ooh, that's a bit of a bummer. So this whole time I was thinking it's just a straight Darkrai, Sableye, Crushing Hammer deck. There's nothing to really lead me on to think there's Terrakion in here too, but surprise, there it is. So now, Tool Scrapper on my Dark Claws was a huge deal. If I have a Dark Claw on my Zoroark, then I get to Brutal Bash for 120, plus 20, which is 140. Knocks out a Terrakion in one hit. Easy. If I don't have a Dark Claw, I only do 120. That's bad. That's not knocking out Terrakion in one hit, and that's what I need to be doing. So here my opponent just junk hunts for an Enhanced Hammer and a Max Potion. So I want to N, get rid of that stuff, and, you know, go from here. I get a Dark Patch. I get to put that on my benched Zoroark. Now, I put the Dark Claw on it before I played the N. I don't know if that was correct. I actually play a Level Ball and see there are no Pokemon left to take with my Level Ball, so that's pretty alarming. I don't know if attaching the Dark Claw to the bench Zoroark is the best idea, just because it could get Tool Scrappered, or he could catch with that and knock it out. And that's really going to be my only defense against Terrakion. I need to knock it out in one hit, so I need the Dark Claw. That's my last one. I only have 3 in this deck, so maybe I should have been a little more careful. I did end my opponent, so I was kind of hoping that he wouldn't have the cards to pull off a Retaliate this turn, or if I drew a catcher, I definitely would have gone for that Darkrai that was already heavily damaged. It's the big target I wanted to get. So you can see not having those catchers from earlier kind of hurt me, but at the same time, I think Tool Scrapper will probably be useful here as well. Being able to Tool Scrapper away an Eviolite if it's on the Terrakion. My opponent does get a Fighting, looks like a Dark Patch, and it's going to be a Juniper. So I'm assuming Energy Switch is coming because they promoted the Terrakion, which is exactly what's going to happen. Now, I'm going to be in some trouble at this point. I did get the Zorua off my prize, which was very, very good for me. I needed another attacker. The bad part is I'm going to have to promote that Zoroark with the 30 damage on it already. That's no good. And my opponent did get a Max Potion, so that's also not good. So I will be able to knock out this Terrakion this turn, but then I'm not really sure where I go from there. I have this Foul Play Zoroark ready to go at any point, but you know, that's not going to be good enough. What's going to happen is I'm going to get hit by a Night Spear. My opponent most likely will hit the Zoroark for 30, so if I don't power up another Brutal Bash Zoroark soon, and by soon I mean next turn, I'm going to be in some trouble. I need something that can withstand a hit against Darkrai. And that, I mean, this game is getting really close. My opponent didn't play a supporter there, so his hand got messed with N, it looks like. But I don't know, guys. This is going to be a really close match here. I do get the Ultra Ball, which is a huge, huge top deck. I will be able to search for my last Zoroark and use Brutal Bash this turn, so I can threaten some sort of a knockout here. I can probably just play my hand out here, put down another Darkrai to give me additional damage with Brutal Bash, just in case of Eviolite or stuff getting knocked out. I actually decide to attach to the active and Foul Play. I'm not sure why I'm doing this. It seems like a mistake, because I do have the Ultra Ball for the double colorless, but I'm actually scared at this point about running out of energy. If I run out of energy, obviously I lose the game. And with Crushing Hammers, Enhanced Hammers, I don't know if I'll have all the energy to pull this kind of stuff out. And a lot of my stuff is in the discard pile already. I have Dark Patches in the discard pile. I have Double Colorless in the discard pile. So I actually don't know where I'm going to go from here. And he does get the Night Spear, which is going to knock me out. This is the main reason why this was a bad play, I think. I needed to just retreat to this other Zoroark here, or this Zorua, and just Ultra Ball for a Double Colorless. Ultra Ball for a Zoroark. I wish you could Ultra Ball for Double Colorless. That would be nice. But, yeah, I needed to do this last turn. That way it would have made it tougher for him to get a knockout. This wouldn't have been knocked out. And I think I would have been in a much better position. I only have 9 cards left, but that's fine. He says, please don't have Double Colorless, and but yeah, I mean, at this point, I don't know if I can actually win this game if he gets another attacker next turn. That's going to be harder than it looks, but he certainly could pull it off. I mean, he's got a Fighting and a Dark on board, you know, just a Dark Patch, another Energy. That would knock me out. A Terrakion and an Energy Switch with another Energy, that would knock me out, and that would be devastating, actually. So, I'm in all sorts of trouble. And it's all going to come down to what happens here. Now, there's an Enhanced Hammer. That's going to make things more difficult for me to attack the following turn. Also, if my opponent gets a Terrakion, an Energy Switch, and a Fighting, and then a Catcher, he can just retaliate and knock out one of my Darkrai's, and I lose the game. So, all sorts of things can go wrong here, which end up in me losing. An N even would be bad. If he ends me to 1, and then plays, or just uses Sableye to Junk Hunt, I could be in all sorts of trouble unless I draw another Double Colorless. So there's really all sorts of ways that I can lose this here. But it looks like he gets a Juniper from the random receiver. And that's just as scary, actually. There's the Catcher bringing up my Darkrai. Now, I'm not sure why my opponent went for the Darkrai with the Energy. It would have been much better to just take the one without the Energy. That way I can't retreat for free. And here we go. This is going to be it, guys. If he gets the Terrakion. But actually, my opponent played an Energy before using the Juniper. That's really bad. Because now he can't attach. He needs 2 Energy Switches to pull off a Retaliate here. And that seems pretty unlikely. And if my opponent doesn't win this turn, then I think I win. And my opponent says no more fighting, but I don't think that mattered, because my opponent actually played an Energy before the Juniper. That was a very big mistake. I don't know if he had any Energy left, but if he had an Energy Switch and an Energy and didn't attach before that, I certainly would have lost. But now, I don't know what my opponent does. I mean, there's 1 Energy Switch, so it's certainly still possible. 1 more and I lose. But if my opponent doesn't take the win here, I have the game. You can see it in my hand. I have the Catcher and the Double Colorless. So, somehow, someway, we're going to pull out a victory here, folks. And, yeah, just kind of a strange way for my opponent to play out the end of the game. I don't know if maybe I just misclicked or didn't think about it, but we really stole a game here. I don't know if I should have won that, but at the end of the day, we came out on top against a very, very tough Darkrai, Sableye, Terrakion deck that is gaining a lot more popularity now. I've seen some articles posted on it. I've seen it doing very well at tournaments. And you can see right there why that deck is so tough to deal with. But somehow, hey, the Zoroark deck comes out on top. So that was a very, very close match as we wait for the super long end screen to come up. At the end of every game, it lags for about 30 seconds or longer until it finally tells you who won the game. Pretty obnoxious, but yeah, that was just a good display of 2 different styles of dark decks. And there we go, game over. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's Darkrai and Darkrai, but there are some different variants you can pull off. And I think that was just a good way to show the differences. So thanks for watching, guys. I am Pooka here from the Top Cut. And we'll have some more videos for you soon, and I'll see you next time.